I'm going to fire all of them. They're useless. How can 5 of them be managing email marketing and no one knows what's going on? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. It's another episode of our business vlog, and I am so excited because I haven't missed a week yet. Last week there was a delay, but we still got it out and we were still on track. Please stay with us. Continue to follow us as we grow and push our business forward. As usual, my name is Shai Babatunde, and I am the proud founder of Blue, a business helping small to medium service-based businesses who are passionate about the people they serve, and we help them to grow sustainably and ethically, ensuring they put impact over income, but ensuring they definitely make more income. So let's get into it. It's been another great week for us at Blue, and let me tell you guys why. Firstly, the quality of the ARP recruits has gone up again. I feel like the process is getting better and better, and we are finding some great talent that we're so eager to grow and grow with. I often do this Friday meeting where I introduce myself and the company to the new recruits who are going for assessment. And I did one last week just gone, and the assessment started for those people this week. And when I met with the guys this week, the way they handled the questions, the task, the learning has been so good. I ask questions a lot, and I've been so impressed by the responses. People really know their stuff in Africa, and our recruitment team are doing a great job filtering. Their strictness is really paying off. Some of those interviews are brutal. They might have 10 to 20 interviews in a week, but only between 3, 4, 5, 6 people get picked for the assessment. And in that group, maybe 1 to 3 will survive. And the ones that do survive are usually really great. We still provide training and support for those who don't survive to give them an opportunity in the future, but we'll talk about that another day. In the same spirit, we've created a new growth program that is so extra, but it's also so necessary. And I love creating my own concepts with these type of things. So the way it works is everyone works, and based on their work, there's different zones they can be in. For example, the danger zone is what happens if your work isn't very great and gets you in minus points. You lose points for breaking the rules, mishandling clients, not being a team player, or not following policy. The growth zone is kind of like a neutral zone. Then we have the winning zone that is for our high achievers. That's the zone you can get into if you do good work consistently and support your team in growing. If you max out the winning zone, you get what we call a grace card. And that card gives you a number of wonderful benefits and perks. It also gives you points towards getting bonuses and promotions and other long-term streams of income. All of these are geared towards getting those around us to work better, to be rewarded for going the extra mile, and gain opportunities to help you to grow and do better in a fun and fair way. As usual, this week we got more clients and we have more client wins. Remember the client I mentioned about 2-3 weeks ago that upgraded and got another service from us? That particular client got our team to build a new funnel for his ebook and the upsell of his other services. And immediately after we launched it, he secured 4-figure sales in both his book and the upsell of other services. An immediate return on the investment he paid to set it all up. One day I'll give you his business case study because he's killing it right now. Another great highlight is feedback. I mentioned this last week about how important feedback is. And this month, we've officially begun to collect feedback and get the opinions of our clients. We've always done this informally, through conversations and review meetings, but now we've got a score system, a way of gathering the information and the data so the feedback can help us to grow. We also recognize it helps with retention and helps us to deal with issues before they spiral out of control and we lose clients. We've had a few clients share with us issues with staff or our process, and we've welcomed it and made changes. If you care about the people you serve as clients, you'd find solutions to the issues, not just take them as personal attacks. Last highlight, we're planning to push our Blue software hard. All of our clients that utilize it properly swear it's gold, it's godsend, and genuinely love working with it and wish we pushed it more. So as I mentioned last week, we have a new team to help us build funnels. This is a big dream of mine because I always have ideas on different methods and ways we can create value and provide solutions. So being able to create quality funnels really quickly and run ads is a big win. Within 2 weeks, the funnel is ready, and we're going to do a big push this May. So let's talk about today's tech tip. And I'm going to start a bit differently this week. I'm going to fire all of them. They're useless. How can 5 of them be managing email marketing and no one knows what's going on? I could hear the frustration in her voice and I could feel her pain. I have another client who moves at 100 miles per hour with their ideas and their updates. This dude is innovating daily. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is another conversation altogether. But what I do know is that it is helping him grow. The problem, his team just can't keep up with him. There are a few things worse than having a team that are not communicating, who you cannot communicate effectively with, or who are not taking responsibility for the work they are doing and communicating together. Which is why my first statement came from a client I was talking to last week. So I see so many small business owners using platforms like WhatsApp or direct messaging via text to manage what they're doing. Trust me, it gets so messy if you don't put some organization around it. So today, for my tech tip, I want to share 4 systems you can put in place to improve team communication, which in turn will improve the performance of your business. Number 1, group chat. Create separate group chats on whichever platform for dedicated conversations. If it's about marketing, social media management, or client deliverables, create a separate space for those discussions to happen. This reduces confusion when dealing with multiple issues at once, and it also allows everyone to focus on what's relevant to them. No need to sift through messages that do not concern you. When your team has structured communication, productivity improves massively. Platforms like Slack, Telegram, and even WhatsApp can help with this. Number 2, direct message channels. Of course, there should be a way to send direct messages to team members. Emails are great, but let's be real. There's an invisible wall of professionalism that makes writing them really slow. Sometimes you need response. A direct messaging platform speeds up communication, makes things feel more connected, and keeps things moving. Best platform again? I recommend Slack over WhatsApp, purely for professionalism. There's a culture on WhatsApp that makes it a bit harder for people to take things seriously. A Slack notification is strictly business, whereas a WhatsApp notification could be your uncle, your cousin, your friend, and when people are working, they usually ignore it unless it's urgent. The third tip is communication through video. Underrated tip right here. Using tools like Loom to screen record has been a game changer for me over the years. Whenever I need to explain something, or when somebody on the team needs to present something to me, we use a platform like Loom. There are many others in the market. The reason why is because if it's recorded, you can go back to it whenever it's needed. It's often quite quick and easy to do. It saves time compared to long emails and back and forths. And it's visual. It makes information easier to understand when people can see what you're talking about, improving communication overall. If you haven't started using video for your team communication, get started now. The last one is an announcement board. However you create one, create one. We have one on our Coldblue software on a dashboard where our clients use it as an announcement board for their teams. Anybody on your team would see it every day as they log in. You could use a pinned post on a Telegram group, a community post in any community you're using, either on Coldblue or school, or you can have a dedicated channel on any platform you're using for just announcements. The format's not important, it's more about the functionality. The key is having one place where your team can easily access important updates without the information getting lost because other people can comment. A proper announcement board ensures everyone's aligned and nothing critical can slip through the cracks. So these are some practical systems and tech you can use to improve your team communication. Because better communication means less confusion, less frustration, and stronger collaboration. A team that is on the same page moves faster, smoother, and smarter. If you're finding it hard to keep your team aligned, I'd really recommend trying to implement these systems and see the difference it makes. That's my tech tip for the week. So welcome to the Concept Corner for this week. And for those who don't know, our growth blueprint about helping businesses grow is built around 3 main concepts: deliver well, sell more, build infrastructure. So today we're talking build, build, build. But what are we building? And what does it really mean, right? I struggled for a while to try and see how I can explain building in a very practical way, looking at the practical day-to-day operations of a business and what building looks like. Because most of us entrepreneurs aren't trained to know these things. For the most part, we are fantastic visionaries, and we have the tenacity to do what others are too afraid to do. But often, building a business isn't something we naturally understand. Just being honest. Now, I'm not saying you need to know exactly how to build your business. That's a skill set you should probably outsource, but it's key for us to understand what needs to be built. The truth is, most times in business, we're all just winging it. Month after month, we're finding a way to make this crazy thing work. We wake up every day to find another way to keep these lights on. And we should be proud of ourselves for having the guts to chase it. Well done. But the real question is, how do we turn this thing into something we can walk away from? And if we walk away, it will still last. How do we build something we can exit from? How do we present our fantastic idea, our consistent cash flow, as something that can outlast and outgrow us? What are we really talking about when we say build? If you've been listening to any of my content for a while, I always talk about growing and scaling. I always talk about the process of practically developing your business and getting to the stage where it functions as a business and not just a glorified freelance service. The first thing I usually emphasize when looking at growth is increasing your capacity to deliver, then increasing your ability to sell. And once more cash flow comes in, we need to invest in building infrastructure. And that's what we're about to dive into. What is building? Number one thing about practically building is client management. Ensuring there's a system for dealing with clients, customer issues, and maintaining a positive customer journey. Focusing on client management allows you to improve your retention. And client/customer retention is essential for growth. Most large organizations that make multi-millions do so because they have a dedicated client base that predictably buys from them. Returning clients are the foundation of success for most of us doing well in business. It's much cheaper and more sustainable to generate at least 70% of your revenue from returning clients than to put all your resources into securing new ones. This is why many companies invest heavily in loyalty schemes and point systems. When we're talking about growing your business, you need to establish a process that enhances the customer journey, the customer experience, which is different from delivery management. When we focus on delivering your service, we usually just ensure the quality of our work aligns with our values, our obligations, and the expectations of the client. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're focusing on the client's experience, which is what client management is really about. So that's why it's the first thing to consider when we're thinking about growth. How do I enhance the customer experience and journey to secure a higher retention and return rate? Next thing we look at is team management, keeping your most important resource, your people, as productive and effective as possible. It's impossible to grow to a certain level of stability by yourself. So when you're considering building, it's important to look at how you're managing the people you're working with. Whether they are freelancers or an outsourced team, or your own employees, it's important to maintain a healthy culture and strong relationships to ensure stability and continuous improvement in quality. People are always going to be people. And I've seen so many entrepreneurs hire and work with people who get on their last nerve, myself included. And we often struggle to manage that process, which slows down our own growth. Many of us underestimate the importance of maintaining the right attitude and atmosphere in our business. This costs us money. Ensuring people are paid on time, work effectively, and managing the human element of humans requires real effort. Now, of course, in the age of AI, less human intervention is needed for most of our processes. Software and AI can handle a lot of tasks for us. But even with that, there is still a need for some people involvement. So we can't completely escape this. And last but not least is business development. Creating processes to build an organization that runs and grows by itself. For the types of businesses I work with and at the stages that they're at, business development is really just about the entrepreneur turning their internal values into systems and policies that help the business to thrive. Our business development lead spends every day creating ways to organize and optimize our business for growth. For example, when our team started, there were so many things happening. No one really knew who was doing what. Implementing a task management system allowed us to streamline our team and task management and ensure smoother operations. Another issue, everyone came to me for approval. It drove me crazy. We had to restructure, organize into departments, put other people in charge, ensuring there was oversight at every different level. This allowed me to focus on providing vision, while the right people made sure everything else made sense operationally. All of this falls under what I call business development. Essentially, it's about process development, policy development, system development, and monitoring business progress. Building your business isn't limited by these concepts. There's so much more: monitoring finance, administration, legal issues, managing operations overall, and beyond. I just wanted to give you a few concepts to think about as you continue to move into your space of growth this year. I hope this was a good watch. Looking forward to sharing more with you next week. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And from me and the team, have a great week.